Welcome to yoga. This is a Vinyasa flow class on manifesting your highest desires by working through the chakras from the crown to the root, the manifestation channel, where we tap into our highest visions and bring it down to the ground and nuts and bolts. So let's just find a comfortable seat. Raising the top of your head, your crown up to the sky, grounding your sits bones, feeling a long spine, long neck. Coming up first to the crown and picturing what you want to manifest, what dream you want to come true. Maybe it's a relationship, a job, a move, an academic goal, whatever it is that you desire. Tap into the universal consciousness that helps us know what our highest good is. Just turning your eyes internally up towards that crown. And then bring your attention to your third eye. You can even touch right between your eyebrows. Your intuition, your knowing, your vision. Picture what that situation would look like. Picture what you would look like in that situation. Picture it as completed. And then coming down to the throat center, say or whisper what that dream is. Coming down to your heart center, think of who you could reach out to, who could help you, who could give advice, expertise, information. And coming down to the solar plexus, around our diaphragm. This is the ego, the will, the determination, the I am, I can, I will. Just making those statements for yourself, for your goal. And then coming down to the sacral area. This is our fluidity, our creativity, our ability to overcome obstacles, to flow like water around them, to brainstorm. Just tapping into that creative fount that you have within. And then coming down to the root chakra. This is where you ground down into the basics, getting down to actually doing the task, the to-do list that you need to accomplish your vision. And now to energize that vision, we're going to start with breath of fire. This is a sharp exhale of the diaphragm. You don't need to try to breathe in. It will happen naturally. We're just going to exhale forcibly. And we're going to start with our hands up, fingers in, thumbs out, just pulsating the diaphragm. Inhale up tall, reaching your arms, your crown of your head. Bring your thumbs together to seal this. Hands sending it out into the universe. And we're going to start standing, coming into our Tadasana. Ground it in the earth. Suspend it from heaven. Finding our balance, our stability. And on inhale, we'll open up Urdhva Hastasana, greeting the day, folding down in a swan dive, touching the mat or your feet, coming halfway up, hands on your knees or shins, Exhaling down and rolling slowly all the way up. And again, opening up your arms to abundance, folding down, Uttanasana, touching the ground. Inhale, halfway lift up, long spine. Exhale, let everything go. And inhaling, we'll come back 2 more times. Open mini back bend, folding over. Big exhale, let your head go. Inhale, halfway up, inflating your lungs. Exhale all the way down and rolling back up. One last time, opening arms, opening your face to the sun, coming down. Exhale to the ground. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, touching the ground again and coming all the way up. Bring your hand down to your heart. Taking 3 breaths here. Reminding yourself of that vision of your highest achievement. We'll take Sun Salutation A, folding down. Exhale, patting the mat. Inhale, long back, looking forward. Exhale, planting your hands, step back to down dog. And let's just take 3 breaths in down dog, grounding our hands in, grounding our feet, lifting our tailbone up. And then glide forward into plank, opening across the shoulders, firming the abs, firming your resolve, and dropping down to knees or simply coming down. Forehead to the ground, shoulders back, elbows in. Then inhale, lift the crown of your head, lift your third eye, lift your shoulders, looking around, activating that third eye as you imagine that you're looking at your goal accomplished. We'll scoot back, mini child's pose, tuck your toes, coming into down dog, 2 breaths. Then look between your hands and hop up. Uttanasana, deep forward fold. And then inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, drop down, hands to mat. And inhaling all the way up and open. And again, floating down. Hands to the ground, step back, downward dog, 3 breaths. Come forward to plank, 3 breaths here. Dropping down. Forehead to mat, raising the top up for cobra, coming up like a snake, listening to that music. And we'll push our hips back, tuck our toes, downward dog, step or hop to the top of the mat, taking your forward fold, letting your head go, shaking, nodding, and come halfway up. Taking a big inhale, shoulders back. Exhale, hands to ground again. Step back, downward dog. And coming forward into plank. And dropping down, chaturanga, or simply coming down to forehead on mat. Cobra or up dog. Inhaling here. Exhale, bring your hips back, tuck your toes, stretch out. Lifting up to down dog and stepping up to the top of the mat. Taking a second here to just let our head go. Maybe swing back and forth. And coming halfway up. And let's come all the way up. Opening our arms, hands to heart. Adding on a low lunge. So we inhale, open. Exhale, folding over. Touching feet or a mat. Inhale, halfway up. Planting your hands on the mat. Let's step the right leg back. And we'll just, with our knees still up, take a side twist. And then dropping that hand, dropping our back knee. We'll come into a crescent pose. Reaching out into cactus. Looking around, seeing who your support system is. So you bring your arms all the way out. Reaching out for who could help you with your chores. And then we'll bring the hand back, clasping our fingers, opening the chest. And folding over. You can fold over your thigh, or you can fold to the inside of your thigh. A humble supplicant pose. And then hands on the mat. Bringing that forward foot back into downward dog. Inhale and let go here with an exhale. Inhale into plank. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Pushing back to down dog. Stepping forward. Coming halfway up. All the way down. And inhale all the way back up. Hands to heart center. And again, we'll open, swan dive down, plant one hand, both hands down, and step the other leg back. Coming into a runner's lunge twist. Give that knee up or down. And now as we lower our arm, we'll lower that knee if it's up. Coming into a low lunge. Making our crescent hands, and then coming out into goalpost arms, and reaching back, clasping our hands, opening the chest, and folding forward over your thigh. And we'll plant our hands, lift that back knee, step back to down dog. Maybe take a pedal here. Exhale. Maybe bring your heart closer to your knees or thighs. And an inhale, rolling up to plank. Maybe coming halfway down. And then bringing our heart all the way down to the mat. Legs zipped up together. Pushing into those hands, into cobra, and back. Releasing, bringing our hips back to our heels. Tucking your toes. Down dog again. Any pedaling you want to do here. Starting to build some heat. And coming to the top of the mat. Touching our feet. Coming halfway up, touching our shins or thighs. Coming all the way up. and back to that heart center that we just activated. From here, we're going to raise up, fold over, and again, we'll touch the mat and step our right leg back. Wiggle your left foot out to the edge so that you have room to drop down into lizard. You can drop that back leg. Just let this left leg go. You can come on the edge of your pinky toe side of your foot. You can let your knee drop out. You can rock your hips. Just finding some freedom of movement here. And let's take 2 more big breaths here in our lizard. And we'll come up, bring this left foot so that it's in facing toes forward, pushing up slightly. We'll look over that left leg, reach our left hand back for the right foot, or you can just reach back. If you can take the foot, you can open up into a twist. And 2 more breaths wherever you are. And we'll drop the foot if you're holding on to it. Plant your hands, bring your knee up, and stepping back to our downward dog. Maybe coming up on your toes and down. We'll do that 4 times. Lifting your hips. And looking at the front of the mat, step up. And we'll inhale halfway up. Exhale down. And slowly come all the way up. Opening our arms. And again, sinking down. Fingertips on the ground. We'll bring that other leg back. Dropping the knee, inch that right foot over to the edge of your mat. Drop out on the pinky side of your foot. Just letting your whole leg drop slightly out. And any rocking, feeling into the hips, the foot. And then inching that foot back so that toes are facing the top of the mat. You can reach up and back and stay here reaching for the back, or you can grab for that foot, those toes, taking a bind, and maybe opening the chest. Taking 3 breaths. And we'll just drop that foot if you're holding it. Bring that arm back to the mat. Bring our back knee up. And we'll step back. Taking our downward dog. Finding the grip in our hands to take weight off of our wrist, fingertips, knuckles, heel of hand. And bringing those elbow creases facing forward, holding our dog for 2 more breaths. Come out to plank. If you want to drop your knees, you can. You can always drop your knees. And we'll come all the way down. Maybe rocking across the forehead. Activating that 3rd eye again. And then pressing into your hands for cobra. Shoulders back. Eyes forward. And push back. This time let's take a longer child's pose. And maybe you want to rock. Stretching those arms, finding your armpits. And 2 more breaths here. And tucking your toes. Let's come all the way up into our dog. 2 breaths in down dog. Step or hop forward, folding all the way over, dropping the head. Inhale, slowly coming halfway up. Long torso, crown to tailbone. And coming all the way up. Hands to prayer. This time we're going to add on chair. So we're going to send our hips back, reaching our hands up. I'll turn a bit to the side. And then dropping your hands, coming down to Uttanasana, dropping the head, and lifting back into chair. So if you're reaching for a big ball on a shelf, exhale, dropping down, Uttanasana. Inhale, coming into chair, maybe sinking deeper, and coming down. Big exhale, this time maybe even holding onto the backs of your shins to bring your head closer. And coming all the way up, slowly to the top of the mat. I'll turn back to the top. And again, we'll come into chair. Drop down into Uttanasana, our forward fold. Step back into our down dog. And this time raise the right leg, toes to ceiling. And bring it down. Left leg raises up, toe to ceiling. And coming down. And this time we'll raise our right leg and step it forward where our right hand is. You can stay with your back foot on the ground, toes pointed out, and come into warrior one. And here, find your stance, find your hips. They should be facing the top of the mat. And you can just come in and out of that front knee. Finding ease in this pose, Virabhadrasana 1. And then we'll take our arms up into our crescent, as if we're holding our shield. And bringing our hands up to goal post. Feeling this solar plexus center, our power center, our warrior. I can, I will. And then reaching out, reaching your arms back, taking that clasp again, coming into humble warrior, bending forward, lifting up your hands, dropping your head. And just breathing here, one more breath. Coming all the way back, reaching forward and up into warrior one. Extend your front leg. Reach down to the mat, pyramid pose, head to shin. Swing your arms up, bend that knee, warrior one. Reach all the way out and down, pyramid pose. Maybe hand behind your shin, bringing your head closer. And one last time, arms up, opening, feeling victorious, and then extending over into pyramid. This time we'll plant our hands, step back to our downward dog. 3 breaths here. See if that leg and hip feel more open, longer. And then we'll raise the left leg, toes to ceiling. Bring elbow in, stepping foot where left hand was. Turn your back foot so it's flat on the ground, toes facing out, heel in, and we'll come up. We'll find our hips in warrior one, feeling the ease of being able to sink into those hips, maybe a little up and down. Nice wide stance, helps balance. And then this time we'll bring our arms up into crescent, reaching out, clasping our hands behind us, and leaning forward, bringing head down towards knee. Humble warrior. And we'll drop our hands, sink into that front knee, raise your arms into a nice crescent, extend that front knee, and fold over it. Hands coming down to mat, maybe to the back of that shin to come deeper. And then inhale, bend that front knee, raising your arms up. Warrior one. Extending, reaching arms forward, let them drop down. They can even come behind you as if you're flying. And again, warrior one. And one more time down to pyramid. Maybe soaring like an eagle here. Bring your hands down. Bring that front leg back. We'll take another vinyasa. Taking 2 breaths in our down dog. Coming forward into plank. Halfway down, drop your knees. You can come up on your toenails or tuck your toes for an up dog. And let's come back to a wide-legged child's pose. And just bring our head and torso down. Taking a rock, a big exhale. Bringing that solar plexus closer to the ground, maybe looking down towards it, tapping into that I can, I will statement. And then we'll plant our hands, tuck our toes, come into downward dog, coming all the way up. Again, a forward fold, letting everything loosen. Inhale, halfway up. Slowly round all the way up. Hands to heart, pushing hands together. Come in, grounding your left foot. And when your left foot is bearing your weight, your right foot is light. You can keep toes on ground, bringing your sole of your foot to your left ankle or to your shin or to your upper thigh. Just don't be on the knee. And gazing forward. Strong, powerful. And then bringing that knee in. We'll take a step back, coming into a high lunge, turning open into warrior two, and you may need to adjust your feet so that your heel is intersecting your arch. Again, hips are facing directly ahead, coming up and down into that front knee, feeling your hips being stable. And as you sink down, this time we'll open our arms for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, looking over those front arms, reaching for your goal, sinking a little further. We'll bring that front hand up over our head, back hand down our thigh for reversed warrior. You can look up at your hand, or down at your foot, or just straight ahead. And we'll come back to that Warrior 2. Strong and firm. And then come up, extending that knee, checking that your hips are still facing the edge of the mat. And reach out a little bit, Tip that front hand over into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Ear is over knee, and opening up, one hand to the sky, one hand grounding into the earth, pointing to the earth. And then we'll just bend that knee, making a little shove for our forearm for side angle. You can reach up or over your head towards the future. And then drop that hand down. Pivot your back toes. We'll take another big twist. That knee is up or it could be down. And some circles. Just winding up, letting go. And then we'll come back up. Hold on to your elbows. Take a swing. Side to side. And maybe swing back and forth like a swing set. And then one more breath, and you can swing your elbows all the way up overhead. Elbows on top of your head or slightly behind. You can use your head to push them back a little. And now let's drop one hand down. Pat yourself on the back. Good work. It's a lot of vinyasas. And we'll just switch arms, helping the other hand come back. Giving yourself a little pat, a little massage. Bringing our hands down and back up to our prayer position. Breathing into our heart. We'll pour all the weight into our left leg, grounding it down into the earth. As the right leg becomes light, you can bring it up into tree. Focus on something ahead of you, focusing on future results. And then bring that knee forward, step back, pivot out to your warrior two. Be sure that your back foot has your toes slightly turned in. Your front foot is facing forward. Your hips are facing the side of the mat. And we'll just come into these hips. Coming slightly up and down on that bent knee. And then opening our arms out, Virabhadrasana 2. Looking over that front arm, taking aim at what you want. Reaching slightly forward, dropping the back arm down your thigh. And lift that front arm over your head. Reversed warrior. Wherever is comfortable for you to gaze. And one more big breath. On your inhale, we'll come back out, extending your arms, extending your front knee. Reach slightly forward and drop that front arm down. Bring the back arm up. Trikonasana, triangle pose between heaven and earth. And then bending that front leg, just letting your forearm drop and rest on the knee, on the thigh rather. Going to have your back arm up over your head. And then we'll give it a few little tweaks. Coming down, pivoting on your back toes, coming into a runner's lunge and lifting into a twist. And bringing that hand down. Let's just step all the way up. And maybe bend your knees, put your torso on your knees. And if you want, you can come into a toe squat, or you can just keep hanging. You can just engage your legs together, engage your abs. If you want to come up into prayer position, strong pose, strong balance. And then on an exhale, just slowly lower your seat down. And we'll bring the soles of our feet together. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And just let your legs go. making a butterfly. And then holding feet or ankle or shins. We're going to take a little cat-cow, tapping into the fluidity of our lower back. That fluidity like water that can go around any obstacles we encounter. So just bringing your chest forward and rounding your back, curling into a big C. And rocking back and forth, forward and back. Using your breath, inhaling forward and up, exhale, round and come down. You can make this as big or small, as fast or slow as you want. Tapping into creativity, to regeneration, to birthing new ideas, new projects. And we'll stop, planting your hands behind your back, just bringing our feet up, crossing our legs knee over knee, or just coming into easy pose, and folding over wherever you are. You can hold on to your legs, your feet, the ground. Drop your head. And 2 more breaths wherever you are. And we'll change the cross of our legs, whichever way you were doing it. And again, folding forward. Starting to find calm. We'll push ourselves up. Feet on the mat, knees bent, just rolling down. Hugging your knees in. Bring head to your knees, making a little bowl from crown of head to tailbone. And drop your legs down. Planting your legs, planting your feet, planting your hips. Maybe taking a rock on that sacrum, reactivating, retapping into more creativity, more ability to brainstorm, to see past obstacles. Planting your hands on the ground, slowly lift your hips up. If you want to take full bridge, you can clasp your hands behind your lower back. Knees are coming straight forward like strong headlights into the future. And 3 more breaths here. And release the clasp if you have it. Slowly roll down. Bring your knees back in for a little hug, a little rock, a little care. You can take happy baby, grabbing your feet. Take a nice playful roll. And then we'll drop our feet down into Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of feet together, knees out, just dropping down. Reviewing our goal setting for the crown of our head, tapping into the universal will that will help us find our path, our dream, our vision, what is right for us. Our third eye, seeing that vision, complete it. Our throat, saying that vision to yourself. Your heart, reaching out for others to help. The solar plexus, the ego, I am, I can, I will do. Fill in your own message. Your sacrum, your lower body, that creativity, fluidity, water element. And then we'll bring our legs out, letting ourselves come into the ground, sinking down, tapping into the ground, to our root, our base, the earth that supports us, that provides for our basic needs. And just let go and come into final rest. And I'll watch the time. And then when you're ready, you can just rock over to one side, maybe coming to a little ball, giving yourself a hug, and slowly starting to extend out, coming back up to your seat. If you'd like to stay for a longer Shavasana, you can just stay on your mat, or you could journal or vision board, whatever feels good right now. May all of your dreams come true. May your past become clear. May you manifest what you're called to accomplish at this time in your life. Thank you for coming, and have a great rest of your day.